Harry Nickerson and Dante Jackson all ran 4.32 40s yesterday, but they weren't the only ones running. Commissioner Roger Goodell got in on the action. Watch this.
Come on.
541. 541.
Better than last time.
Better than last time. Must be the shoes.
Okay, Bobby, come on.
Good job, Killed it.
Commish ran a 5.41 in a suit.
5.41, 5.71 if the guy timing it doesn't work for him.
Well, the commissioner's been working out.
Wait.
That was I wanted to throw him a ball at the end to see if he can get the catch so he can survive the ground. That's what I wanted to see.
That's very fun.
That's
Can you
your
beat a 5.41 now?
Of course.
Yeah.
You don't think I can run faster than Roger Goodell?
Oh, no.
Can I?
No, Nick can't outrun you. I know that.
No, he can't. Chris, he cannot outrun me. I'll put money on that right now.
All right, let's
I
go.
just said that.
No, he cannot outrun me.
That's what I just said, Jim.
Sorry, I got so fired up, I almost heard it wrong.
Listen.
So sorry.
Hold on.
Mwah.
Real quick. I know Roger Goodell is your guy. You think he's faster than I am?
Yes.
He's 30 years older than me.
That stresses you out more than
Your
being
body's
faster?
like 60.
Just because the doctor told me I was skinny fat and I had the insides of a very
Most
obese
men
person,
don't get told that.
well, that's what the doctor told me. He said I had bad arteries and blood pressure and cholesterol, all those things. Doesn't mean I can't still get it going for 40 yards. I was a track star, man.
Okay, now how long ago when you got that ominous report?
It was right before my daughter was born, so 4.5 years.
Okay, and what have you done in the meantime?
Or how many times have you
Smoked
been
a lot
to
of
the gym?
Black and Milds, but that's neither here nor there. I can still get
No,
up
it's
for 40,
here.
40 yards. All right, we're going to do it.
Okay, Puffy.
We're going to do it. We're going
Let's
to do it.
You got. I'm booking it.
I'm in.
5.41, set the over-under. I'm coming for you, Commish.
You better come for Jenna.
Time for some
It's gonna be
stories.
that time.
To start your morning, thank you, Chris Carter.
Jeez.
Larry Nance
I'm with you, Jenna.
Jr.
No, Chris.
had a great performance. Larry Nance Jr. had a great performance in his first start for the Cavs. He had 22 points, he had 15 rebounds, and a blowout win over Detroit. Nick, how important is Nance for the Cavs' success this season?
Very important. Everyone, when the Cavs made the trade of Isaiah Thomas in the first-round pick to the Lakers, people were focused on Jordan Clarkson. I said, then Larry Nance is the intriguing option. A springy, long, athletic, motivated five for a team that has not had that since LeBron's been there. So he was great last night. How about this? Since he got to the Cavs, him and LeBron on the court, the Cavs are plus 53. Every other lineup that exists, they're minus 15. He now, with Tristan's injury, will be on the court with LeBron a lot.
He is their best option from a defensive standpoint that they have at the 5 position or the center. He's their best option from an offensive standpoint at the 5 position. He's also, from an energy standpoint, he's going to help out Kevin Love when he comes back. So, yes, he is there to stay. We need to see more of Larry Nance Jr.
All right, Portland's Damian Lillard had a monster game against the Lakers last night. Scored 19 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter. Blazers went on to win 108-103.
Wet
Nick,
number.
how good has Lillard been this season?
That's a phrase, Jim. You can say get wet.
He's been excellent.
On the jumper.
CC, come on, let's not confuse the situation. He's been excellent. The Blazers are the 3 seed right now. In a packed Western Conference, the fact that the Blazers are the 3 seed with a 1 full game of separation is surprising. And this was a game, if people didn't watch it, if you're up right now, I understand it was a late West Coast game. Blazers down 11 with 6 minutes left. And Lillard just went off. They finished the game on a 22-6 run. Lillard was the lion's share of that. If he didn't play in the Pacific Northwest, we would talk about him the way we talk about Kyrie Irving.
I mean, he's surely one of the great players that we don't talk about enough in the NBA. And the association, especially in the West, if you look at the guards, we talk about Steph, we talk about Chris Paul. We can't even get to D. Lillard. I mean, he is so nice with the basketball. And from an offensive standpoint, he's one of the most electric. If you're talking about scoring in a quarter, this is one of the few guys that can rip off 15 to 25 points in a quarter, and we saw that last night in the fourth where he scored 19.
All right, let's go to the NFL. Thank you, CC. Well, the chatter this week has been about the possibility of Lamar Jackson switching positions because of his team's hesitation to draft him as a quarterback. One team reportedly had the former Heisman winner as the number 2 quarterback on their board. What do you think, Chris? Will or could Lamar Jackson be a successful quarterback in the NFL?
Oh, yeah. I believe there's several teams that have him in their top 3 quarterbacks. If you look at accomplishments in college football, there's only one quarterback that we're looking in the top 5. That would be Baker Mayfield, who you can say is a more accomplished college football player. So why are teams asking him to move positions? Well, I believe there's a couple teams, and it's because he's a black quarterback. These other guys are going to have a chance to develop. I believe if warranted the same chance in getting the same support around him. You got to protect him. You got to put a running game around him. You got to put some playmakers around him. He is an eventual NFL quarterback.
As I've told CC for years, 99% NFL players are system players. So in the right system, Lamar Jackson, of course he can be successful. But it does speak to the absurdity of him changing positions. You ask a guy who at quarterback would be a 7th-round pick or undrafted to change positions, because then maybe he'll get drafted. Not a guy who's going to be one of the first 50 players selected, and on some teams' boards would be one of the first 20 players selected. That guy doesn't change positions.
Even if he was the first 100 players, he deserves the right. Tom Brady, the most accomplished quarterback we've seen, he was not in the first 200 players.
199.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, he should be afforded the opportunity to play the position that he loves.
Finally, guys, the Seahawks reportedly plan to keep Earl Thomas next season. This despite rumors they were shopping the 6-time Pro Bowl safety in trade talks. CC, how much longer is the Seahawks window for another Super Bowl going to stay open?
I believe it is going to stay open as long as they have the combination of Paul Allen, owner. Don't mention him very much, but he runs a great organization. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson. As long as they have, because we know quarterback, you need a quarterback to win. Russell is one of the elite players in the league. He's been able to do more with very, very little than we see quarterbacks do. Same way Tom Brady has been able to do. So if they're able to continue and staying within salary cap, now, they got some older players who they got to make some key decisions on. I believe that window shall be open for another several years. And the reason why is because the pedigree from the top with Mr. Allen, how he allows Pete Carroll to run the type of program, the type of players they get there, and that they have a franchise quarterback in Russell.
You left one key name out, John Schneider, the GM, who works through, obviously, the owner and the head coach. He has been excellent, excellent at finding players in the draft, excellent at finding value, has not overpaid for many free agents. I think the one move he would like back is probably the Jimmy Graham trade, but Jimmy Graham's likely moving on this offseason. Yes, the window's open, as long as they have the coach and the quarterback that they do. But what people need to realize is in 2019, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Dwayne Brown, their best offensive lineman, they get the guy they got from Houston, Cliff Averill, all those guys are free agents after this coming year. So while they'll still have their coach and their quarterback, Pete Carroll is the oldest coach in the NFL. I know he doesn't look like it,
no,
but
he doesn't seem like it.
He doesn't act like it or look like it. But yes, the window's open. They've got a top 5 quarterback and, to me, a top 5 coach with a good infrastructure. So of course it's still open. And I wouldn't get rid of these guys. I wouldn't get rid of Earl. I wouldn't get rid of Richard Sherman. I wouldn't trade Michael Bennett. I would try to run it back another year.
But this is the last year, as we know, Seattle, because these guys will not be on the team in 2019.
All right, speaking of quarterbacks, back to the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes. The news yesterday was that Cousins had narrowed his list to 4 teams. Now it looks like Cousins has narrowed his list to 2 teams. Reportedly, Cousins will be deciding between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets.
Ooh.
All right, CC, will you weigh in for us? Which of these 2 teams do you think is a better fit for Kirk Cousins?
Oh, yeah. Who, you want to play football? You want a chance to win in the postseason? You don't have to face New England,
so
who has that division on lock. I get a chance to play indoors. My #1 receiver probably won't be going to jail, maybe. The fan base, I'd rather Minnesota people.
Think you're good.
Like, it's fairly lopsided. Now, this thing is about money, though.
Right.
I mean, what type of compromise is he willing to play with a team that has a great nucleus around them? They need, not for him to be a superstar. I believe Kirk Cousins can fit in great in Minnesota. There is no comparison to the Jets and where they are, in Minnesota and where they are. And the ability to play inside with 2 young receivers. They have 2 good young running backs. They have a better offensive line than the Jets. I don't see, besides absolute money, why would you go play for the Jets? Like, you have to give me a good reason.
It would only be money. And it would have to be an enormous financial discrepancy, because you've talked about it already, how much money he's made the last couple years playing quarterback. Either of these teams, Minnesota's not getting in the conversation if they're offering him $12 million a year.
No.
They're offering him at least $24 million a year. So the question is, what's the spread? And what's it worth to you to be in a better situation? Forget the tax difference to where the money is probably not actually as big of a difference as it sounds like. And I'm not asking him to take the better team for less money. But I am saying if I were him, if the money were close, I think I would really consider it. I don't think it can be as simple as which team is offering me the most money, because these teams, as far as talent and ability to win, they are not close. Minnesota is ready to win right now. The Jets have not been ready to win for a decade.
Well, I'll give you another reason besides just money. You go to Minnesota, and maybe you win, and maybe you're the reason for winning, and maybe not, because you have a fantastic group around you. You go to the Jets, and you turn around a team that won, what, 5 games last year, in a conference where, you know, you could actually be one of the standout quarterbacks in that conference. Maybe there's something to be said for that. This is a team that they thought wasn't going to win a game last year. They somehow put together 5.
You know what the prize is of the Jets? If you do well next year, you get to come back and play for the Jets and their fans and everything the following year. Winning as a quarterback is very, very important. Now, when you get after the game, winning, how much is it worth to you every week? Is it worth $500,000? You know, because $500,000, that's $6 million. So you talk about Minnesota comes in 22 to 24 million. Are the Jets going to pay him 30 million, 28 million? So for me, most of these guys, they are. This is their second or third contract. Kirk Cousins, he's been under the franchise tag for 2 years. Didn't get the big contract coming in. Robert Griffin got that contract. He was on just a normal second-rounder's contract. So this is still his biggest payday that he's going to get. But the last 2 years, he's made over $40 million. So he's got some room there. At the end of the day, what's important to him, and to me, Minnesota and trying to win should be the #1 objective, because he's going to get a big contract regardless of what team he goes to.
One thing you mentioned at the tail end there was about the quarterbacks in each conference. And that one is interesting to me. The NFC right now is loaded for bear, it would appear, for the next generation of young quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that are young, but still this generation, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, and Aaron Rodgers, the next group of guys, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott. The AFC, Brady, Big Ben, pardon me, and then they don't really have that next crop. So if Kirk Cousins believes he's a top 5 quarterback, he might look at the AFC and say it's easier to win in that conference.
I don't think guys pick teams based on, they only got a couple quarterbacks in the AFC. I have the potential to be a star. Kirk Cousins has established himself as a starter in the league. Right now, to him, it's about winning. I mean, what does it mean to say, oh, Kurt, you're the 4th best quarterback in the conference? That's
not what I meant. What I was talking about from a winning perspective, that the AFC doesn't seem to have as many loaded teams from the quarterback down as the NFC
They can't get out their division. They can't beat New England. So you need to come up with a solution of how you're going to get to the playoffs.
How far are the Jets, do you think? Like, if someone's got to be in Kirk's ear, how far off are the Jets?
Oh, the Jets need a miracle. I mean, like, the Jets they have no receivers. All right? They have running backs. Who are they going to give the ball to 20 times? Their offensive line have question marks. Like, they're making wholesale changes on their defense. They got 2 good safeties on their defense, but, like, who are the commodities that you're going to the Jets for?
The only thing I like about the Jets is their head coach. I thought winning 5 games with that roster last year was damn near miraculous. I thought this was a team that was going to struggle to win 2 games all year. Like, the talent, keep in mind, going into the year, the real discussion was not about the Browns going 0-16. It was the Jets selling off their pieces, getting rid of Decker, trading away Sheldon Richardson to the Seahawks. Like, there was the real discussion about, and by the way, Muhammad Wilkerson's now leaving them, one of their few talented players. How good, like, can the Jets find 3 or 4 wins?
I would go to Arizona. I believe Arizona is closer because they got more talent surrounding Kirk Cousins if he went there compared to the Jets.
All right, well, our boss Witt just died a little bit inside. He's a gigantic Jets fan.
If he's been a Jets fan his whole life, this is not
he's a survivor. Yeah. Hey, coming up, are the Steelers making a mistake franchising Le'Veon Bell? Wait till you hear what Eric Mangini thinks about that. I promise you're going to be blown away. Blown away! It's next on First Things First.